Hello, welcome to Como Live. My name is Ariel. I'm one of the gardeners here at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory, and today I'm here to talk to you about a really special group of plants that I find fascinating. These are carnivorous plants. That's right, plants that are meat eaters. Now, plants have evolved to live all over the world, and carnivorous plants fill that niche in really severe locations where nutrients are poor. They have special adaptations where they can actually trap and digest prey and then get those nutrients out of their prey that they've trapped that they maybe lack in the soils that they're growing in. So there's three main ways that carnivorous plants trap prey. And as I introduce you to the plants today, I want you to try to imagine which of these methods the plants you are meeting today might use in order to catch their prey. So one of the ways that a plant might trap their prey is like a mouse trap. It's an active snap trap where prey comes in and then gets caught in the trap by the plant. Another way that carnivorous plants have evolved to catch food is offering a sweet nectar reward. We call this a pitfall trap, where an insect or an animal goes in for a drink and then gets caught in this liquid and unable to escape. The third method that they use is the glue method, really sticky substance that the plant can actually stick, like a fly trap, sticky paper, or liquid glue, and they can't escape from that. So those are the three main ways that carnivorous plants have evolved to catch their food. Now let's meet the plants. The first one, that's probably the best known carnivorous plant in the world, is the flytrap. The Venus flytrap. Can you guess how this one traps? Flytraps are native to the coastal plain of the Carolinas. They grow in areas called precosins or bogs, savannas. They like sandy soils, and that sandy soil is really low in fertility. So by catching prey, this plant is able to get nutrients that are not present in the soils. Now, if you've been thinking about how this plant might trap, the Latin name is a little bit of a clue. It's named Dionea muscipula, and that second part, muscipula, means mouse trap. And sure enough, these little triggers here will swing this trap shut just like a mouse trap if an insect goes in. The bait is along the edge here. It's a little nectar reward, and if an insect goes in and hits at least two of those triggers within 20 seconds, that will trigger this trap to shut. Now, after snapping shut, glands on the inner surface of these traps will secrete digestive juices. Those will drown the insect, and over a period of 4 to 10 days, the soft parts are dissolved and absorbed. And then the trap will open back up, the exoskeleton blows off in the wind. Each trap can handle about 1 to 3 meals before it starts to turn black and kind of break down. Let's see if we can get one to snap shut. I don't know if you'll be able to see the little hair triggers. They're very small, but if I hit one, nothing happens. Hit two, it snaps shut. It's believed that it only closes part way to let small meals escape. That if there's an insect struggling inside of that trap that's big enough to waste time on, that this trap will continue to ratchet shut until it's clamped down very tightly over its meal. So that is our Venus flytrap. Next up on our tour of carnivorous plants is the Butterwort. And this one, often people don't realize is a carnivorous plant. It's got those pretty light green leaves. I oftentimes see this growing in orchid terrariums. It has beautiful purpley flowers. This is a bud here. It hasn't opened yet. But this Butterwort, even though it doesn't maybe look carnivorous at first glance, upon closer inspection, you'll see all sorts of little insects stuck to the leaves. These are found throughout the northern hemisphere, from the Arctic Circle down through Siberia, Europe, North America. We even have one that lives here in Minnesota. It's only found along the rocky shores of Lake Superior, way up north in Minnesota. But it's one of 30 native Minnesota carnivorous plants. Now, my favorites of these butterworts grow in Mexico. They have really a fantastic group of carnivorous butterworts there. Beautiful flower colors. So how does this one trap? Well, I wish I could show you the leaf up close under a microscope, because on the leaf surface, this kind of glistening sheen, those are teeny tiny hairs. And at the tip of each of those hairs is a small drop of sticky glue. There's a second gland on the leaf surface that under magnification kind of looks like craters on the moon. It's a depression, and those remain dry until a prey is caught. So once a fly gets stuck to the little glandular hairs and starts to struggle, those craters begin to quickly emit a lot of secretions of enzymes and acids that will drown and absorb their prey. Now, one really interesting thing about butterwort leaves is that many of them along the leaf margins will curl up during this, and they kind of produce a cup when they do that, or a spoon, and it's thought that that cupping will prevent the liquid from drooling off the leaf that's full of those nutrients, and that way nothing is wasted. All of those liquids will be reabsorbed into the leaf surface along with all of the wonderful nutrients that has been extracted from that little body of an insect that's been trapped. Well, that is our butterwort. Next up on our tour of carnivorous plants, we're going to take a look at a tropical pitcher plant called Nepenthes. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that we also have a native pitcher plant growing right here in Minnesota. So if you're up in the Boundary Waters, canoeing through a bog, and you see plants like this, just know those are also carnivorous plants, and they have really cool flowers on them as well when those are blooming. But the one I want to talk to you about today is our tropical pitcher plant, and it has an enormous pitcher on it, so I wanted to show that off. This is a Nepenthes named Miranda. That's the variety name on this. And this genus Nepenthes is the only known species that is big enough that they've actually trapped rats. And I thought that was pretty shocking to imagine a plant catching a rat and being able to use that for nutrition. The Nepenthes are primarily from Southeast Asia. The center of distribution is Borneo, and there's about 80 species worldwide of Nepenthes. Many of these grow at higher elevations in mountains where it's cool during the night and warmer during the day, and the soils are very nutrient poor. They might be growing on a rocky slope or next to a waterfall or sunny ridge, and they need that extra nutrition from catching prey. This pitcher is divided up into two zones. There's a waxy zone at the top, and then there is a digestive zone at the bottom that's containing digestive juices and fluids. So the idea is that an insect or prey will come along to the waxy zone and start to take part in consuming delicious nectar from this pitcher. And what will happen next is, if it's a small ant or a fly, a lot of those nectars will contain substances that have an intoxicating effect on the insect. They start to wander around confused, and it's very slippery in this waxy zone. And next thing they know, they're falling into the digestive zone. Once an insect is struggling down here in the digestive zone, the plant senses that movement and quickly secretes a huge addition of more digestive enzymes, and the insect quickly drowns in that thick viscous fluid down there and becomes part of the plant. So that is our Nepenthes. All of these plants can be viewed at Como. If you're here for a visit, be sure to stop into the Children's Gallery sometime and take a look at our collection of carnivorous plants. They really are a fascinating group of plants, and one of many plant collections that you can view here at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory. I encourage you also to take a look around you when you're looking at a plant and wonder what tricks it might have up its sleeve in order to survive in the special niche habitat where they grow natively. Thank you so much for tuning in to Como Live. Enjoy your afternoon.